that too loud? Am I yelling? Welcome to the morning routine. This is morning routine number 59. Do you want to see my face? Hello. Morning routine number 59. I got a special guest today. Serena Rio. All the way from her Los Angeles artist secret bunker deep in the mountains somewhere. We're going to talk to her and see what's up with her. We'll talk about how we met. We met in San Francisco. I got her on the line, and we'll get to that in a second. I do want to apologize about the scheduling and rescheduling yesterday. That's something that I felt is very necessary to give people a chance to put out real messages, not just me blabbing my face around. So we're probably gonna do that every Tuesday until things change, but we'll get to that later. Serena, can we see your face? Let's get a little here. Let's cut to Serena. Should we give her the hotline cut? All right, here we go. Hotline cut. Good morning, Serena. I can't hear you. I think you might be muted. Hello.
Hello, Terry.
There she is. What time is it over there in your LA bunker?
It's bright and early at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. So what's been going on? Tell us. Let me start this off right. I'm really fucking this up. I'm rusty. All right. So Serena and I have known each other for a while, and to get things started a little bit, right before I moved to New York, Serena moved to San Francisco. We swapped coasts at the same time. But then
Maybe like a year overlap, I think.
it was maybe a year. Yeah, maybe like 9 months. Yeah.
I remember you were there when I learned how to mountain bike.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I remember you and know you now. And we're actually gonna play a video in a little bit to introduce everyone to your mountain bike skills a little bit. I did mention we were gonna play a video from us when we were in Japan, but I realized the mountain bike video is a lot better to show, just to give people an idea, because everyone in here, majority of people are cyclists, so. Why don't we do that now? This is how we're gonna introduce Serena today. We're gonna start with a fucking video. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen with her, and we're gonna go straight into this. Let's see, application. There it is. Share. All right. Can you see that? Yeah. Sick. Now I need to share my screen with the YouTube. Pardon me, everybody, because I'm terrible at this, but give me a second. I'm going to add in a new window capture on the spot here, because I forgot to do this. There it is. Okay.
Can I help?
All right.
How do I help?
You don't have to talk or anything, but people can hear you. Oh.
Okay.
But and it's only it's not the whole thing. So here we go. This is Serena shredding mountain bikes when I was there recently, and this was right in the middle of the coronavirus starting, so it was kind of a weird time. Justin almost took me out. Woo. This is called JPL, and that's Serena up there shredding.
It is one of my favorite trails in Los Angeles.
This is your favorite trail in Los Angeles?
I think it's one of them. It's like an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, I had a really good time on this. So much fun. Serena was being shy. She was like, wait, why do you want to stop? Why do you want to follow me? I was like, because you shred. I remember there was time when you, me, Cubby, Jake, and John did some shit south of I don't remember where, but you were on my wheel, my ass the whole time on these downhills, and I was like, get away from me.
I feel like we're all learning that. I can't even remember. I remember when me and Brandon rode up this trail. We walked up Cinderella. and Joaquin Miller,
Yeah.
like back in Oakland, because we just had no idea where to go. And it was like me, and I think it was Ryan Gallagher.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I
And we
remember
just like
Ryan.
walked up this like crazy downhill trail, Cinderella and Joaquin Miller. I think
You climbed up Cinderella and Joaquin
we just
Miller?
had no idea where to go. We were just trying to find a way to the top. It was so sad. Man, we learned a lot. And I used to ride with you on that titanium hardtail. It was like a
Yeah.
26 titanium hardtail with brake calipers in the back.
Yeah, I remember that. You had a shreddy ass like old. What kind of bike was it? I
It
forget.
was a custom bike that was made for a friend of a friend in New York, and I bought it off of her for $1,000, Sophia.
Yeah. And then you
Um,
fell in love with mountain biking from then
and
on.
I love mountain biking. With this piece of shit bike. I mean, it was an
It
awesome
wasn't.
bike.
It was an awesome bike. It was just kind of old. I think is what it was.
It was a fun time. And then you guys all had Santa Cruzes.
Yeah, I bought that highball. I still ride the same bike.
Better.
My shit is clapped out, but it's still working.
I actually passed my old mountain bike on to another wonderful lady learning how to ride mountain bikes.
That's great.
So,
Is she still riding?
I don't know. She just started.
Okay. And then you got, what are you on now? You're on a Specialized?
I'm on a Specialized stunt jumper. Some comp alloy thing that I got for painting a mural for them a couple months back.
That's pretty cool.
A year ago.
You painted a mural for Specialized.
And Machines for Freedom.
Damn. I forgot this should be there. There we go. Oh man, that's not right. And that's where you walked your bike. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What's in the wrong gear? It's funny because I'm looking at it real time and this other screen, there's like a lag.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, you
I don't
can't.
realize which one you're talking
You
about.
gotta watch the one that I'm sharing with you.
Okay.
She is I don't know if you guys can tell from the video. She's shredding it, dude. There's people in front of us, but there is a lot of people behind us.
You did a great job too. That was your first time on the trail.
I love this trail the first time. I like this bike a lot too. I've been talking a lot about this bike, trying to get one, but they're impossible to get right now. I got water on the lens. Sorry everybody. So yeah, I just wanted to play this video to give everyone an idea of like you know, what kind of cyclist you are. Oh, that's your alarm, huh?
Oops.
That's all right.
Time to wake up.
So this video is called LA is great for cycling, for mountain biking. We're gonna cut it here and we'll get back to the conversation because we got a lot of things to talk about. And let's just pause this. I told you it'd be a little sloppy, sorry. All right, and we're back. So yeah, let's talk about so you got into mountain biking from that bike, right?
I did.
Did you ride any other kinds of bikes before that?
So originally, I guess I started since I was young, and I used to have this piece of crap bike I got way back when I'm from New Jersey, lived in New Jersey, and I had this piece of crap bike
Yeah.
that I got from a police auction for free because no one at the police auction even wanted it.
Yeah.
And the brakes barely worked, like barely. And like I had like learned this skill where I could jump off the back of it, especially when it rained, which it did a lot in New Jersey. It does not in LA, unfortunately. As people may or may not have noticed. I got really good at jumping off the back of it and letting it fly off when the brakes wouldn't work.
Oh
That
shit.
used to be me in New Jersey, and then fast forward to New York. Went to school in New York for a little bit, and I found fixed gears through my friends.
Ooh.
Through some
Fixie
punk
girl.
kids, through a partner at the time.
Uh-huh.
And that's where it started. And we used to race recklessly through New York, through the traffic. We were all idiots. We were young. We were dumb.
Yeah.
We were like made of rubber bands. Like it was super fun. You know, used to drink in McCarran Park and then do a bunch of dumb shit on our fixed gears. And then I started playing bike polo for a second.
What? I didn't know that.
It did like 2
That's
seconds.
so cool.
And I wasn't very good, but it was super fun.
Yeah.
Used to play in the pit in New York, I remember.
Yeah, so the pit is for those of you who don't know, it's Christie, right? Or Allen. It's Allen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's in between the Manhattan Bridge and like Delancey that goes to the Williamsburg Bridge. Just people are starting to learn
Geography of
the
New
geography
York.
of New York, even if they don't live here, from the videos, because a lot of times nowadays I'm just like talking like, oh, in this ring over here, blah blah blah. Anyways, I
Oh
didn't know
yeah,
that
it's
you.
on Christie Street.
I had no idea that you played bike polo for a little
I
bit
wasn't
too.
very good. I was a bartender at this bike shop called Red Lantern, which was this like the home base for the polo club there.
Yeah,
We used to ride over the bridge and go try and play in this like concrete pit in the middle of
yeah.
Chinatown. And it was fun. I was horrible. I was horrible, and I just giggled the entire time. And like I could ride my bike, but I couldn't hit the ball, and I guess that's half the battle.
Yeah.
And
Just
fast
get in the
forward,
way.
I moved to San Francisco. Me and my roommate at the time, we decided screw New York.
Yeah.
I quit my job
The hills
and
are made of gold.
sold all my heavy shit, and I packed up 2 backpacks, and we got into her 1989 van again, and we went out to San Francisco where I met you.
Yeah.
And that's where I discovered road bikes. That's where
That's when you actually started riding bikes? Is
following
what you
very
tell me.
shortly. I actually think I had a road bike in New York, but I didn't know what to do with it really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like at the time I thought it was maybe weak to have gears, you know?
Yeah.
No brakes, can't stop, don't wanna.
I know whenever I see Serena, I was just in LA for her birthday. When I see her, I'm always like, yo, when you come back to New York, there's like this ride, or she'll be like, where the hell is that? I'm like, that's New York. What the fuck? She's like, I don't know. I guess I didn't ride my bike in New York. I'm like, dude, there's spots. You just have to like, not everyone, the riding scene here is a little different. That's all. Not everyone rides the same kind of stuff.
It's also changed a lot, I think. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just an idiot. Like maybe
Yeah.
I just was in this like little isolated 2007 bubble.
Maybe it's grown a little bit. Maybe people are riding, more than road and track and more than just racing cross bikes on the weekends.
Well,
But riding on the dirt for
that was a
fun.
movement.
We're mostly talking about dirt riding here if you guys haven't caught on. Yeah, so go ahead. And then you got a road bike in the Bay Area.
I actually think I got in New York. I didn't know what to do with it. And then I came to San Francisco and I discovered hills, which don't exist in New York. I don't care what anyone says.
Nah, you have to search them out in New York.
And I learned cross riding. My partner at the time introduced me to cross riding, and through there I met a bunch of friends and discovered the beauty of dirt. And then shortly after, my friend Tara, who lives in London now, has a kid. Her and her brother were talented, very talented mountain bike riders, and I got into mountain biking and never looked back, honestly. I never looked back. I don't even own a road bike anymore.
That's cool. I mean, what is it about mountain biking that you like so much
I think it.
over the other forms of
Man,
cycling?
I'm an adrenaline junkie, and I think I just need to chase that. I'm like, it's something that you can't. It's just empowering, I guess, in a sense, to like climb these gigantic mountains and then descend through like the craziest, the sketchiest, the wildest trails. And I like shit talking.
Yeah.
And I like competing with my friends.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best for that. I'm sure there's other riding that has those kind of aspects to it, but like there's something about being in those mountains and dropping off some crazy shit.
Yeah, and like pushing your comfort zone.
Yeah, sure. I have been getting into jumping. I've been getting into jumping and doing drops recently.
Come on out back to New York with your bike. We got some shit. We've been building
So
some
have I.
fucking
What
shit.
the hell is this stuff? And maybe after this pandemic, I'll have to take you up on that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a comfort zone. Man, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
And then some of the things one of the things I just realized, that's why I made those videos when I was there, that video we just showed, is that grew up in the Bay Area, and I had no idea. I mean, I've seen people like LA's got mountains. Like I know what's going on, and especially now the popularity of it, but I never paid attention to the mountain ranges right behind downtown LA ever in my life. And maybe it's because of the way I would drive from San Francisco or the Bay Area down into LA. You would go over the Grapevine and I would approach LA from a different angle, you know? But coming from the airport going straight towards like Silver Lake, I was like, what the fuck? Look at those mountains.
They're huge.
They're massive.
They dwarf the ones in San Francisco, which I had no idea was even physically possible. Yeah. Because I'm from New Jersey, where there is no mountains.
Yeah, there's no mountains in Jersey.
Unless you count Mountain Creek Action Water Park or whatever.
Yo, but Mountain Creek, it's open again. It opens this Friday.
Holy shoot.
That's kind of the reason why I was like really pushing to get that fucking ibis. I'm like trying to go to Creek super bad, but we'll see.
I don't even know. I don't think Justin uses his. I'm just saying.
I know.
Tell him I said that.
He's busy right now. He's busy. What was I? So can you tell us a little bit about, this is something I learned way later, but so I submitted a film to Bicycle Film Festival, and you used to like volunteer there, and we talked through email before we knew each other, and then we found out way later in life.
Do you have that video? I wish I could watch it again, because I can't.
I do have that video. They're all on the internet.
You gotta show it off, but
everyone here has probably seen it, because there was times when I first started this morning routine where I would just play videos and hang out for a few hours every day. So I've showed all my videos.
Well, I mean, I was the media coordinator at the Bicycle Film Festival, which I don't even know if people remember what that is anymore.
Yeah.
It was like the coolest festival when I was younger that I could even fathom. And it consisted of these street festivals in which people like did BMX jumps and like sold wares, and we used to have like group rides and like little alley cats for it, and then we would go and we would get drunk in the theaters and shout at our friends and like learn about people like building bikes and women like empowering themselves, and like the WTF at the time, it wasn't as big of a prominent movement, I think, or as mainstream as it has become today, thankfully. But I think it was like a very solid foundation for building the bike community, which I feel like I fragmented a little bit as bikes became more diverse. Mountain biking got bigger, cross racing got bigger in America. And Terry's was my favorite. And it was so cool. And I don't even know if people remember the video, but it was them, and they boated out to this like gigantic, was it abandoned? Like sewer pipe? It was huge. It must have been like...
It's the exit of a dam. It's how they control the water. If the dam goes too high, it's like an overflow.
Oh, there you go. I guess out of context. I mean, I thought in my memory it was like 10 feet tall. Like
no, it's 30. It's actually 30 feet. 30 feet like tall, like huge pipe. Yeah. It's called Glory Hole.
It was called the Glory Hole. How could you not like that video?
Yeah.
But then all these kids that were in it, they were hitting this bowl or this pipe, whatever. They're hitting this pipe, and they were the coolest, and they had all these like crazy flares, and they were barbecuing in it. And I think maybe someone at one point told me they're all on acid, perhaps.
Hey,
I don't even remember. Okay, sorry. I mean, like, you're all family oriented and sober, and they and Terry was the filmmaker, and so we talked a bunch there, and God, my little heart would have exploded if I had known. I guess probably like a year later, I would have been riding mountain bikes with those kids, which I didn't even realize until I think a couple months after meeting you, we actually talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know. You mentioned working there, and I was like, when? And you were like, this time, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I pulled up an email, and I was like, you're the one I was talking to on email. I was bummed though a little bit because my video didn't play very well. I didn't think it was like playing weird, but whatever. That's old news. Bicycle Film Festival. Have you talked to Brett or any of those guys?
Not recently. I used to keep in
out?
touch, but I think we floated different ways.
That happens because you're too much of a mountain biker now.
He doesn't mountain bike. Maybe he'll say something else. I don't know. Maybe he's gotten into it. I guess I haven't touched base.
Yeah, I think a lot of Bicycle Film Festival, as well as the bikes separating and stuff. Just the way that media is put out there nowadays. Like, I guess I'm just talking personally, just even about my stuff. It's like people put things out faster now. You know, it's the same in skateboarding. Like, you don't hold on to a bunch of stuff and make a video for once a year and then you just give it to somebody. Like, people are all making their own videos all the time and putting them out on their own networks. So it's harder to have stuff. I've had conversations like this with Brett. Like, it's hard for me to hold on to something for you, man, when I'm like, I have my own thing. Like, you need to do it online. Like, I'm for everyone getting together, but he wants like original content for his shows, which is understandable. He's selling tickets and stuff. So, I
mean, I think there's something beautiful in a festival where it's very intentional and everyone can gather and there's like a face-to-face, there's a face interface where everyone can hang out, but also, I don't know, times are changing. I mean, you're like a little video factory. I don't know how you do it.
Did you go on a YouTube hole yesterday?
I don't know where you have time to ride or have a life or hang out with Tatum. I don't know where all these things come from.
Tatum will tell you. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but I love to do it. So, and I think it's important, especially now with everything going on in the world. There's so many things going on, and it's when the Corona thing was going on, I thought it was important to keep. I thought that was a tick on my leg. I got scared.
Nice.
I thought it was important to just keep some kind of routine going, with everybody. And like, I wasn't going to work. I had nothing to do. Everyone else was stuck at home. So I was like, man, let's get some kind of structure back here. What the hell are we doing? So I started doing this stuff.
And I'm sure a lot of people, especially back then, appreciated that, especially people that couldn't get out. I think in New York it's harder. And I think I can't even imagine what it was like in New York. LA responded way quicker. And I think they got the situation a bit more manageable, but I mean,
who knows what's going to happen in the next couple weeks, really, if, things flare back up or whatever. We'll see. We're at a weird time.
I mean, I know it's important to concentrate, I think, on the movement that's happening right now.
Exactly.
With the riots and the Black Lives Matter. Man, I feel like that the pandemic is getting pushed to the side. And that's, I don't know what the hospitals are going to do.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's conflicting. There's a lot of morals. There's a lot of ethics. There's a lot of feelings. But there's also a lot of health. And this time's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else you're supposed to protest something without being out there in the streets, Like, how are you supposed to have your voice heard and like show that many people are upset without many people being out there, It's really
you
tough.
just gotta wear a mask and wash your hands and keep bringing. I have a little sanitizer, guy. He's the cutest ever. A little sanitizer dispenser.
Look. Let me see. Oh, look at a little hot dog in his butt.
It comes out the bottom. Comes with me everywhere. Comes with me mountain biking. But I think it's important, especially with those around you when you're protesting, And wear a mask. It's harder
Yeah.
to spray outside, especially with the wind and the air
Yeah.
and the movement. But I think it's something to still be so cognizant of, especially because the healthcare workers are still going to have to face this next wave that I think is going to be oncoming.
Yeah.
Um,
It's rough. I mean, there's no right answer. I don't know, you know.
wear a mask. Stop. You can't. Don't talk to people with your mask off.
Yeah.
I mean, for several reasons too. You know, no face, no case. Also, and I think that people should be out there.
Yeah. No face, no
What they
case.
have to do.
Yeah.
Wear a mask. Now you have a good excuse. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I went down my list. Oh, some people are asking about your I guess we didn't talk about what you do as far as being an artist. Some people were asking, like, do you like to paint circles or squares? I don't know. I think they just want to know a little bit about your work, you know? Also, Serena's the one that's doing the Hotline Tour shirt. I've showed you guys in the past. I think I have a screenshot on my phone. But yeah, how did you get into that? What are
Into
you doing?
drawing?
Yeah, everything. It's rad.
Wow.
I feel like it has not developed recently or anything, but it has grown and grown, and it's like exponentially. I don't know. You're doing it. It's tight.
Just like your videos.
It's great. Yeah, you're just doing something. You keep doing it, and you're like, oh wow,
I'm not killing it as hard as you are with your videos, but
you're killing it. You did a mural at Specialized. Get out of here. You do murals all the time. Like 2 trips to LA ago, you were doing a mural at a cafe. Remember, I showed up with Brian. You're like always working.
Oh yeah, with Kat.
Yeah.
Was that it? That was fun.
El Bodega or something, right? La Bodega, sorry.
I am trying to get into mural painting, which I've been doing a lot recently. That's been super fun. I just did one with my partner or old partner over at Topanga Creek, which is out here in LA. And we did a bunch of faces. That was super fun. I just did one at Spoke Cafe, which is a bit more down in Frogtown in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Did you say old partner?
What?
You said old partner?
It's a kid I was hanging out with for a little bit. Maybe we're not any longer. But,
oh man, sorry. I don't have to talk about that.
Oh Jesus!
I like him.
I feel like I'm getting bread.
I hope you are nice to him. All right.
And so he did the font here.
Yeah, he did this. It's hard to read because it's white on black, but this is the front graphic, and that's the back. It's supposed to be like a fucking
band t-shirt.
Like a band t-shirt. Pretty sick. Serena did the fucking spider, making all the calls, calling the hotline.
Which is funny. That was fun. I think I just started. I used to watch anime. I used to be a nerd. I used to go to conventions, and
did you paint your face and all that?
What?
Did you like paint your face, anime face? You know?
No, but I did dress up in costumes that me and my grandma would work.
Yeah.
I was super young. It was dark times. You know, I don't like to talk about it.
Dark times. It's what made you who you are.
I don't know. That's a community. That's a fun community, but it's definitely a different community. I do have an art portfolio on Instagram, and if you want me to come out, pay for a plane ticket, pay for my paints, maybe give me some lunch money. I'd love to come paint a bike shop or two, or a nice wall if you guys can find any.
Damn, huge shout out.
Right now.
I just dropped your Instagram in the chat. No, go ahead.
Mostly because I feel like it's difficult during these times, especially with the pandemic and especially with the movement that's going on, that it's hard to ask that from businesses. I feel strange.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through some hard times and we're all supposed to support each other. What I think is beautiful about murals is that there's pros and cons to gentrification, but it's also I think it allows it opens that space up, I think, to the community, and I think that it changes its surroundings, and it's kind of beautiful how when I paint things, the community comes around and supports me and offers things, and they hang out, and I don't know, there's a feeling to that you don't get just drawing by yourself in a studio.
You mean
I
like
like doing
while you're in the
collaborations too.
process of painting as well?
What?
Like people are like watching you and like hanging out.
Painting murals is very performative. I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone realizes it,
You gotta
because so
sign
much of it, man,
autographs.
you go through like a roller coaster of emotions. Like, you got the sketch on and it doesn't look like anything, and then you're painting and it's the beginning parts and it looks like crap because you haven't like fixed up all the drips, so you haven't like erased all the lines, and you just kind of like are trying to talk people through it, and like everyone's watching you, and and then it starts to get better, and then people are like commenting, and people are starting to say nicer things, and people are actually starting to like it. And then you go through like,
They
is it
actually
finished? Is it
like
not?
it.
And then you're feeling insufficient, and you're not sure what you're supposed to do, and it takes. It's just, I don't know. It's like a kind of a roller coaster of emotions. So finally, you finish, and hopefully people love it. Hopefully people don't. I'm definitely not afraid to let you know.
I hate it.
It's a very public performance.
Yeah.
The whole process.
I'm sure the pressure is something that you work with. Like it helps. People watching, and it's like kind of addicting a little bit, maybe.
Oh, so it's not for everyone,
Yeah.
Some people hate that, but I think I'm a social butterfly, is what my mom called me. So I like when people are around. I love doing collaborations, particularly with people that are from the area.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important. And it's really fun to feed off of each other and like throw ideas back and forth and like work together to create something, which is a cool thing,
Yeah. I agree. I like to collaborate. That's why I like my old day job when I used to do stuff, because it was a major collaboration between people.
Well, videos are usually a major collaboration between people.
Yeah.
It's hard to make one by yourself.
Yeah. I do it all the time.
Okay.
I'm actually making it with the viewers, though. I'm like talking.
You're holding a coffee mug and writing down,
Hey, that was an
Bye.
intro. I actually really enjoy making those. So you went. Oh wait. Before we get off topic, we have a question here. Samuli wants to know. You went to art school. Like, what are the pros and cons of art school?
Don't pay for it. I got a scholarship. I had to pay for the first couple years, and I had to reapply for a better scholarship. Man, they're expensive. It's so expensive, and it's hard to justify that. And maybe I think for me, what I learned more was going to school in New York, because that place teaches you a lot of life lessons that I don't think you can learn anywhere else.
Wow, like what? Get into that a little bit.
I think what I learned was to speak my mind and to stand up for yourself. Like, you are meeting like 9 million people in New York alone, like in such a short couple mile radius, it's kind of absurd. And you have to learn to stand out. You have to learn to make first impressions, because most of these people you'll never see again, unless you make the effort to. And you learn to not get walked on because there's so many people. I think I learned that as a bartender. Yeah. And I forget who, but someone told me, man, you gotta go to New York and get a backbone, but you gotta leave before you become an asshole. And I think
that's solid advice.
There's a lot that rings true to that.
I can attest to that a little bit, coming from California to moving to New York. I started to feel a certain way about people in the Bay Area. Just that they were like too passive in a way. Especially once I started visiting New York, I was like, I kind of like that people are just like, this is what's up. Like, I don't like that. Like, where I was at in California, in the Bay Area, I guess, it just seemed like, well, people are like, well, I don't know if I really like that. But in New York, they'd be like, yo, don't fucking do that.
I like that. I need that. You need that. It's so imperative.
Yeah,
And I tried to
it's
get
a
to
balance.
San Francisco, and I was like, I'm not going to change. And then I realized I wasn't making any friends, and so I need to change a little bit.
You're just being a dick.
And I think for the good. I think I toned down a lot of the things I needed to tone down. I still think I strict my mind too much, but I think also one of the more prominent things, I feel like I've told you this, but I remember I went to Noisebridge because I was super into like circuit bending at the time. And some guy that was in there, I think he didn't have a home, but he worked in there. It was like kind of volunteer based, and he was in there putting assignment. And I had just moved to San Francisco, and he was like, you know what the difference between New York and San Francisco is? So the people in San Francisco have never been punched in the face.
Oh man.
And I think that's very true. And I think he maybe was talking that in regards to the homeless population, because they're definitely a lot more brawlic in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's different.
People are so much more slide, for good or for worse. There's a lot of politics in that, but
yeah.
Man, nothing beats the East Coast mentality. Take the girl out of Jersey, bud.
Jersey's deep in the girl.
East Coast. What else?
Someone wants to know about your tattoos. Are they stick and poke? Destroy all lines. Can you talk about tattoos? Are they stick and poke? They're crazy good. They like them. From what they've seen, I guess. Where's your... Let me see. What do we got here?
I don't have any on me. I don't have any on me. I have like a star.
Destroy all lines. Are we talking about her work on Instagram or the work on her body? He also mentioned just a comment to how you said, like, get me out there and feed me and put me up and I'll do a mural. He was saying that's how real artists are. Just pay for my means of getting there and I will dedicate my art and time for free. So he was saying that's awesome of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's so fun. I don't know. It's what I'd rather be doing more than anything. And then you got bike riding, of course. And also, I'm a huge activist. We don't.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't introduce you the right way. Actually, hold on. This is what I meant to say. Morning routine number 59 with Serena Rio. She's an artist, an activist, a cyclist, a friend, and a mountain bike shredder. Shit. I fucking had the shit right here on the paper. It says it, activist on here.
Take notes.
Fucked it up.
I don't know where to start. There's a lot of things I would love to talk about politically. I don't know if that's for this audience or what.
Let's do it, man. What do you mean? We're just talking. We're just talking, and if they don't like it, they can just turn it off.
What I think is definitely interesting, and I believe that people need to get out there. I believe that right now is a pivotal time in history. I think that this is unprecedented in the history of America, on many accounts, mostly because it's happening so globally due to social media. I mean, these are all things I guess people know.
A fucking global
I think right now is the perfect storm between, I think, call-out culture, between social awareness has become a huge and mainstream. Thank God, finally. And I think that with the pandemic, no one's got shit to do. Everyone's broke. Everyone's scared. And no one's going to school. No one has anywhere to go. And so I think now is the time to organize. I think now is the time to think. Now is the time to talk to your politicians. Now is the time to support each other. And I think what's super powerful about this movement is that people are finally listening to brown people. And people, I've seen the most incredible things at these protests where white people are putting themselves in the front line against unwarranted police brutality. Some of it is arguably warranted, but I think most of it's not. And I think that this cooperation, people could draw parallels between this and the Rodney King riots, but this is just, I don't know, besides race and besides location, I think that this is an entirely different beast altogether. And it's really, oh man, it's incredible to see that these races working together. And I think in order to make Black Lives Matter again. I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we're in a really messed up time because of leadership. Um, in my opinion, being from the military, like one of the things that I took away from that is just leading by example. And when you're in a leadership role and a leader in the very lowest level in a community, is people wearing a uniform with civic duties, like a police officer or a firefighter, or there's a way when you're wearing that uniform that you should act in public. You should be acting way better than you would out of uniform, and that's something that I learned in the military. When I'm wearing a uniform, I know you feel like all eyes are on you, and I don't necessarily, and this is everywhere in the country, but especially in New York. I don't want to make this all about NYPD, but the majority of cops in New York that I see do not set an example for anybody. And I'm talking about, this is away from even being any of the racist or brutality stuff. As easy as just staring at their phone when they're driving their fucking car. Like, just simple stuff like that. That's not how you be a leader. That's not how you lead by example.
oh,
And that's
no.
at the very basic fucking level of just being on a phone. And then work your way up there all the way to the fucking president of this country. We're
So
fucked up. We're in serious, we don't have a leader. So everyone is, there's no major voice that's like helping at all anywhere. And I think that is a major player in this whole thing, as well as the years and years and years of fucked up shit that's been happening.
Wow, we don't have like a Martin Luther King. I think that something will arise, and I think that there's a lot of organizations that are banding together, that have been preparing for this for a long time. I mean, they've been working tirelessly. We have a couple out here in Los Angeles, and I know that there's a bunch in New York, and I think that they're spearheading a lot of this movement. I think that having one general, I don't know if that's what you mean, but I think having one general representative is also dangerous for a movement.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about a movement for us that I or you or everyone else that are believing right now. I'm saying, like, as the people who are in charge of the country, there's not even a solid leader there. And that's I was talking about from like the lowest level, being a cop in a community, all the way up to the president of the United States. There's very few things people can look at and be like, well, at least this person's here, like they got my back. Like, people, I don't feel like anyone, and I think that's a major, on top of, like I said, everything else going on, that's also ringing true, and it's adding to the fire. There's no fucking leadership. And people, I'm not a what do you call it? I'm not a gen fucking millennial. Like, I'm barely outside the millennial zone, okay, but like,
you be a millennial,
they have been getting harassed for the last, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being harassed, like, there's only so much on top of all the racist shit and all the brutality. I think there's many things going into this, and I think it's great that this is the time now to stand up. The chat is going crazy.
I think in this momentum, I think can bring about change if we utilize it correctly. And I think that staying together, sharing your resources, picking leaders or picking people that you trust for sources, I think, so that you're not sidelined by, for example, the media, or by like false like news. I think double checking your facts before you post shit. Man, solidarity is so important.
That's so hard.
And listen to the brown people that need to talk.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot going on, and I think locally that there's a lot that we can change and push for, because I mean, not that I'm saying it's impossible, but I don't know if he's going to go out and assassinate the president. But even still, like, I think most of the change is going to come from local level, and so pressuring your district attorney and pressuring your police commissioner. Sorry, I'm I'm blanking. I'm being all like worked up.
Yeah.
And these were doing this. We just did this yesterday where we sat out in front of the mayor's house, and were met with a lot of arrests. There were over 200 arrests yesterday downtown and in front of Mayor Garcetti's house, in which people the police used, I think, more than necessary force in order to detain, including like tear gassing and rubber bullets. Man, I saw this kid yesterday that had he was probably about the size of a tennis ball, a bruise from the rubber bullets. I mean, you can see on the news of people that had gotten their eyes gouged out by a tear canister.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen.
Most of this kid claimed that he was protecting a 17-year-old black girl from getting rained on by bullets, and they all, I mean, him and a crowd of these kids are like young too. They're just getting rained on by unnecessary force. I think that this is going to come to a spearhead of either violence or an understanding, and I think one of the main things we're pushing for is defunding the police, particularly.
All those new statistics, again, I don't want to push information. I don't know if it's totally true or not, but I saw it's like this amount of money to end poverty and world hunger, this amount of money to wipe all the college debt, and the police, the amount of money the police got in the whole country last year was more than both of those. And they have like APCs, which are like mini tanks that carry personnel, like armored. Like, why do the police need that? Like, I understand like a SWAT thing if there's like, you know, a bank robbery, but why do they, like, those APC things are being utilized right now against the people?
I mean, you can look at it further. You can go into conspiracies, man. Maybe it's population control. We're all a bunch of sheep.
Yeah.
I think one of the more interesting things that one of the more interesting things that you've talked to me is that I know that you were in the military at one point.
Yeah.
And I did spark note the art of war, and I think that it's something I should probably explore further.
There's like they're using basic military tactics by, like, I mean, I haven't seen this stuff for my own eyes. I've only seen the videos that have been shared with me of cops intentionally putting bricks out, cops with a truck emptying bricks out onto a corner, and bats and weapons, cops telling ladies what to paint on the wall in LA and just standing there and letting her paint and not doing anything about it, and they're like kind of laughing about it. Like, it's hard to know because it's out of context, because I wasn't there and I didn't see the whole thing, so I just see it, and I don't, I share some of it, but I don't know how true it is because I haven't seen it with my own eyes. But those tactics of planting things to instigate and putting in moles, if you will, cops dressed as protesters to incite. And you said it earlier, we are kind of like sheep. Like, if there's 100 people in a crowd, it's easy for one or two people to get those people amped in a negative way, because it's energy, man. Like, positive energy and negative energy. If there's a bunch of negative energy, that stuff can ignite, and then two people can turn a peaceful protest into a mob pretty easily if the peaceful people aren't actively looking for the negative ones. You know what I mean? Because energy spreads, negative and positive energy. It's just vibes, man. It's real. I believe it. So then they bring these police in, and or whoever they are, to instigate mobs, and then it turns violent, or they do that to divide the movement up, and it's basic just divide and conquer shit.
Which is why it's so important to stay together. Like, let people protest the way that they need to protest. And I know I'm like, it's unfortunate small businesses get hurt at times, but you can't have expected this not to happen. You can't have expected people's necks to get pushed to the ground, for people to get shot holding cell phones in their cars, for people to get Like, oh man, we were talking to my friend Johnny.
You're talking about the college
Golden
kids in
South.
Atlanta, right?
I'm talking about this is shit that's happened forever and ever and ever,
Yeah.
and you can't expect this shit to happen and then not expect a lashback. Like this is a problem that should have been resolved years ago. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily right. It's not necessarily wrong, but it is 100% justifiable at this point. Like it's understandable that people are this angry. Like we were talking to Johnny, who's a black friend of mine from Los Angeles. He's actually from New York.
Yeah.
And he sat in a chair and we all sat around and we listened, like Grandpa's telling the stories. But he told stories of growing up in Bed-Stuy, New York back in the day, a couple decades ago. And man, he was like, I was stop and frisked every day. I was stop and frisked. He was like, when I'm stopped by the cops, and I also highly recommend if you have any other open spots on this show to have him on. I think that people internationally need to hear this. But he was like, if you were stopped by the cops, you have two options. You only have two options. You can run or you can stop. If you run, they might shoot you. And if you stop, they might shoot you. And those are really the two fucking options that you have. And that was probably, man, that was one of the more poignant things I've heard in a very long time, was just those raw and like honest words.
Stop and frisk in New York. What was that? That was 90s to mid 2000s, right? They just stopped it recently, didn't they?
I guess that's maybe politics. I haven't been following since I moved. It was the entire time I lived there.
Terrible law initiative they had, and they were basically just stopping anyone of color.
Yeah. Discriminately.
That was New York City. And
often finding finding reasons to arrest people, that weren't there, like non-existent reasons. It's not a surprise this is happening, and I think all we can do in order to change things is support brown people in this fight. We got to use this momentum. So I didn't mean to go on a long rant. It's just
ride the wave.
I guess so.
Really though. That's kind of leads me into yesterday's Blackout Tuesday, where we were gonna do this yesterday, but then we wanted to respect that Blackout Tuesday, and we talked about it. We were like, well, who's setting this up? And then you saw that people were like, it kind of backfired a little bit on Instagram, which was because people are using the hashtags. And you talked about this. It's like, well, the people are using this as a way to see and get information. And I also saw it as like, I don't know. I think it would have been better for people just not to posted anything and kept the communication lines clear than put up a bunch of black squares, in my opinion. I just was just like, so that's why we didn't have the show yesterday. We just didn't do anything. And I think that's a better way of handling it and leaving the communication lines open. And then later in the day, I saw a bunch of things like, yo, take the hashtags off, delete your posts, because you're blacking out the fucking hashtag where people are using it. It almost like, it didn't slow my anger or anything, but it gave a chance. It almost was like a ploy to like slow everything down for a second, to get people to calm down. Because shit was flying on Instagram, and I know for sure YouTube has been slowing it. It's hard to find things now on YouTube, on the new stuff. Like I look every morning for like New York, SF, Chicago. I'm like looking to see local stories, and it's like they're not being fed into my feed like they were last week in the beginning. So I don't know.
I mean, it's hard. I think that it's important to show solidarity, and if that's what they needed was one day, you could argue that it's conspiracy by the music industry.
Definitely.
But I think I don't know. I think that the intentions of it weren't necessarily conveyed clearly, and I think that the problem is that people forward things without entirely comprehending what they're forwarding. And I think, again, you need to double check to understand before you just post things blindly. Is that our power right now lies in social media, not through the actual media. And I think that in order to spread correct information rapidly, you need to be just very intentional and knowledgeable of what we're doing. Again, I do suggest that if you do decide to be particularly active, take some precautionary measures. I mean, outside of Instagram, I suggest using other more secure platforms like Signal. If you guys have heard of it, it was an open source encrypted messaging app.
Yep.
And I have some with a bunch of my friends, and we use group chats when we go out in Signal. You have a pin on it, of course, and you delete the thread afterwards, so you're not incriminating anyone. But I think in like these situations, also using it to update ourselves about like what the police movement is doing, or like what we believe to be true. And I think that having these sources and this backing not only emboldens you, but also keeps you updated with the correct information and helps you organize faster, which I think in order to win this, organizing is going to be so important.
Yeah. I think since it's spread, it's international now. I saw a thing where it's like New Zealand, Germany, UK, where else? There were so many countries involved this morning. I was like proud. I was like,
oh, cool.
You know, I was like, yes. They said, Canada, they said we're basically like the whole world's watching. Like it's like it's everyone knows America. What's going on, and we're all looking at you. Basically, all looking at the U.S. and Trump. Really, like what?
Expect me for president.
What's gonna happen? You know, and it's an election year. It's just like, oh man, I don't know how this next couple weeks are handled. I don't know what's gonna happen, man.
I think don't relent. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't even know where that's. I don't even know how that saying came about, but I think persistence and perseverance, same word. I think those are important things in order to like make change. You know, nothing good ever comes easy. So
yeah,
there's a lot on the line for this. That being said, I would be particularly interested to see more mobilization and activism on bicycles, because I think that mobilizing on bicycles allows for faster transportation. It allows for scouting, for better monitoring of police activity. I am very interested, and I really believe in the power of music. And so I think an interesting tactic that me and my friends are considering employing was, we have these JBL speakers. There's a couple other speakers brands that do it. So I'm not getting paid by them, though I wish I was if they want to sponsor me. But they link. And so the really cool thing about them is that they can link through Bluetooth, and the range isn't the farthest. It's not the best. Some of them are better than others. And you definitely need to look into which models can link together, because I think the older ones and the newer ones can't. But through this, you can mobilize both on bikes and through music in order to create a home base during protests, jazz people up, to keep people going. People get so tired. And there's people with snacks and there's people with water. But I think music especially keeps people's attention, which sometimes people need help with. We all do, you know, everyone's guilty of it. And I think having a home base also creates a sense of safety, and a kind of like a core area for the protesters to rally around. And who doesn't love a good dance party, you know? Especially if you're sitting in one place. There's different measures call for different times, but I've seen that one be particularly successful. People want to consider it. You know?
Also, looking at how other countries, for example, people have been sharing how the protests in Hong Kong have been handling their protests that have been going on for a while now, and they are at a level of like high tech. Like they are professional protesters. Like they all know to cover their heads and their eyes, and they have umbrellas to help shield themselves. Their faces are covered. Like they know
they take care of
their
each
phones
other.
off. They relay information back and forth. Like I think I guess that's what happens when you're protesting for that long. Like you come up with ways to figure it out. And I think we need to. This might be we'll be doing this for a while, so I think we should definitely start exploring other things. I can agree with the bicycle for
cool.
for using it as a way to get around. When I was involved on Saturday, there were bikes in the front of the protest, and we went down Flatbush over the Manhattan Bridge. And basically, all the cyclists rode up in front of the people walking, and they blocked the roads for the cars. And they basically nicely asked the cars to turn around and go the other direction. So the cars did. And by the way, when I was there, I didn't see one upset person in a car that we were disrupting traffic whatsoever. They were actually honking with their fists out the fucking windows. Even the people in the cars were, I didn't see anyone upset. So.
I mean, I think it's something to remember. Also, your bikes might get taken. We've had a couple, especially when they were arrested. Well, not 2 nights ago at this point, because it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is today. So I think also having a buddy system, bringing a bike you don't mind losing, having a lock system so you can quickly lock it, locking it up in certain places when things start to get heated.
Yeah.
Also, you can consider utilizing a bicycle as a barrier. And so from the cops, I mean, as long as you understand that it might get taken, utilizing it, again, to direct traffic, utilizing it to help protect fellow protesters. I mean, all these are things to consider. I think a bike always and forever will be a beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
So I think.
Did you see that the cops are using it incorrectly?
I don't even know how to use. Sorry. Well,
no, they're using it to push on people and to block
push
people.
back. That's all I'm saying.
So there's been a call to the major manufacturers that make bikes for the police, telling them to stop making bikes for the cops right now. Specialized has already put out a statement saying they're not going to.
We should put pressures on the companies. I guess I never thought about that. I don't even know where they get their bikes.
Yeah.
That's smart. I don't know. I mean, we're probably all cyclists in here. I'm guessing that's why people are here. So I think these are things to consider.
People who aren't, but most people ride here in the chat on the channel.
I hope so. If not, then you should. Yeah. But I mean, take what you love and utilize it for the greater good. I mean, then you can now be a little badass biker gang. Another cool tactic is deploying banners. If you make buy a large cloth, a large sheet, very, very long, you can go to a fabric district, or you can even just use bed sheets and sew them together. But that can be utilized as a barrier. That can be utilized also as a way to congregate the protest, to help lead the protest. These are all tactics. Again, they just unify each other. You never want to divide. That's what they keep trying to do to us. So these are all things to consider.
Yeah, they're just trying to split us up. It's not going to happen.
Is Cooper by keeping his plants watered? I think they're all succulents, so they don't need that much water.
I haven't seen much of Cooper.
But yeah, I mean, I know it's also about bikes. I don't know. There's a lot that needs to be done. So
we have some footage that I could share. I gotta find it though. It's from Destroy All Lines. He wants me to play his video at. Wait, you're what city are you in? Destroy All Lines. I forgot.
The lag is so long.
I know, it's 30 seconds.
Is that for you or for just because?
That's just because that's how it works. Especially YouTube's really a longer one. It's a little faster on Twitch.
I'm half Chinese. I'm half Brazilian, by the way. So.
Oh, there we go.
They call it Chazillion. It's another fun fact about me.
You're half Chinese, half Brazilian?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
It's almost Filipino.
That's unique.
It is, I think. Actually, there's a huge Asian population in Brazil, but that's not
Yeah.
even where my parents met. So,
They didn't? Where'd they meet?
look, it's Matt. Um, what are you looking for?
Destroy all lines. Ah, here we go. He's in St. Louis. All right. It's a short one. It's 3 minutes. This is from Destroy All Lines. This is a nice little, what do you call it? You know, it's a nice little in-between break video. So you can get some water if you want. Serena?
Me? What are you trying to say? Do I need to do it?
Whatever you want to do. No, we're not done.
Okay,
We're not
okay.
done yet. Let me see. Let me open this up. Oh. So we got a video from Destroy All Lines from St. Louis. This is from June 1st, 2020. He just reminded me. We're going to play it. Here we are. Serena, you want to see it? Here. Sorry, I should share this with you. There it is. All right. Got it? Sweet.
Encouraging everyone to cooperate, stay off the streets. It's anticipated that the curfew will be put
Avington,
into effect
Cordoba,
tomorrow night.
aluminum frame.
I
is
think
this a bike
that
video?
the law enforcement people, fire personnel, the National Guard, Sheriff's Department, and all of the others who are joining in a coordinated effort are going to be able to keep this situation under control.
That was Destroy All Lines.
Jesus.
That was St. Louis, June 1st. There it is. Serena's back. Okay, we got a question right now, though. Some people seem to know you. They want to know the teeth story. You got in a bad bike accident in New York. You've told me the story.
Before we switch subjects, I also have. I think it's a super important. It's important to share your videos. You also, for security purposes, want to remember again always to blur faces out.
Yeah.
To hide identity, protect your comrades. I also think something to consider is the metadata that's attached to your photos. And I have sources if anyone needs them. And maybe I'll put them up. I don't know, on my stories on Instagram or something. If you guys want to take a look at it later. But you do, in order for security purposes, to avoid incriminating you or your friends, to consider both these things. Anyway, my teeth. What was it? My accident.
Boo. Yeah, they want to know. So someone. Okay, so hold on. Let me go up. So we got gnarliest crash story, and then someone was like, "Are we gonna ask about the teeth?" And then someone was like, "I don't want to be the guy to ask that, Law."
What's wrong with my teeth?
Nothing wrong with your teeth. I think someone must know you in here, or two people know you.
I think. Okay, so quick summary is
Story time.
About 8 years ago, I was hit going the right way in the bike lane down Wythe Avenue in New York. For those of you that know, I was pretty much on South 4th and Wythe, just pretty much right under the bridge. And back then there was nothing there. There wasn't any storefronts. There was a bunch of warehouses, and it was middle of the day. I was riding back to the metal shop, but I worked at Pratt Institute, which I went to school at, and I was hit from the back by a driver who fled the scene and was never caught. Police didn't even try. And there was a huge outcry in the bike scene. I remember one of my good friends who you've already interviewed, Addison Blakemore, went to the craziest ends in order to try and get the footage back that could even possibly catch this accident on video. They never caught the person, but I guess I was in ICU for 2 weeks, and I was in the hospital and inpatient rehab for about 3 months, and I couldn't walk for 6. I broke. So okay, ready? I broke my teeth, my forefront teeth. They were used to be flippers. I used to be able to pull them out. They used to be attached to this retainer for about 4 years.
I have the sickest photo of Serena in my phone. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Keep going.
I bit through. I shattered my back 4 teeth. I bit through my front mouth. It's just like little scar right here. Which is funny because I have Thunder Pussy tattooed in there. It's a funny story because I was at the dentist and the dentist was like, "What is this? It's weird. They have these stitches that are still in here that the doctor never got." He's like, "I'm just gonna have to get those out." And my dad was standing right there, and he starts like go in with these tweezers, and I was like, "Wait! I'm so sorry, Dad." But like, it's a lip tattoo, and I was in a lot of trouble for that. It's still kind of there, maybe.
Yeah. Wait, there's stitches in your lip.
That they don't fall out. Don't believe the hype. This is like almost 10 years ago. Let's see what else. I severed my nose from here to here. This whole thing was pushed up. That's where these little scars are from. I broke my eye socket. My eye fell into my head a little bit for about 2 weeks. I think I ripped the skin from here all the way up. So I no longer have nerves here. I got all these like crazy phantom itches, which is basically like it itches, but you can't actually reach it because the nerve endings don't exist. Your brain just thinks they do, which is fun, super fun. But I can headbutt people, you know? I can.
Yeah, you can.
I can't feel anything there any longer. I broke my back scapula. I broke my hand. I broke 3 fingers. I broke off 3 ribs on my left side. One of them punctured my lung. And I severely damaged a lot of the nerves in my left leg. I had a bunch of like crazy phantom pains in the left leg for about 2 years. And I broke my pelvis in half.
Fuck, man.
I had to wear a fixator that came out from my pelvis. I don't even know. I don't even know if I can. I won't show you guys. Just kidding. But I had these crazy bars that popped out of my pelvis from like this, and a bar that came across. I had to wear sweatpants for like 3 months. I mean, I couldn't lie on my stomach for 3 months. I couldn't even wipe my own ass for 3 months. There I am.
Dude, I have this. This isn't even saved on my phone. It's just saved in my contacts. It's from years ago. It's so good.
I do not have that party trick any longer.
Yeah. So she used to be able to flip her teeth like. So she would whenever we would like be drinking, she would just be like ah. That's the party trick.
Hot mess.
All right, keep going. What else did you break?
I mean, that was it. I think it was a lot of things. It took me about 6 months. Well, it took me about 6 months to get the strength to walk, and then I had to relearn how to walk. And from there, despite a lot of protests from my parents and friends, I started riding bikes again. And here I am today. God, I remember I went to Richmond for this punk fest called Just Friends Day. We were going to this grossest, awesomest lake called Haddad. I remember being so wasted. I was next to 7-Eleven on the side of the road, and like it's like hundreds of people go, and they're all riding down this road, and I'd stop at 7-Eleven and I puked. I remember I puked on the side of the road just so I could feel better. Like I was good to go.
Yeah, just let it out. Let it out.
My teeth fell out, and I remember this is how I met this guy Patrick that lives in Richmond. I don't know if anyone knows him. He owns this really awesome skate bowl in Richmond now. There was this moped crew, and I remember looking up, my teeth are gone.
Oh no, you lost it?
Fuck yeah! And I made a lot of close friends that day. God, those were crazy times.
Oh man. And that's the bike crash story. So basically
I can no longer run. I can run maybe a mile before my left leg falls out. I can't really walk that far. Before it rains, I can feel it in my little bones, especially my broken scapula.
Yeah.
And my hips.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That like tension, I feel it in my wrist when it's gonna rain. It
See?
sucks.
Really, it's just a barometer, but I like to tell people it's like it's fine.
Damn.
So that's it. Afterwards, I became a huge advocate for safety in the streets. I did a lot for bike coalitions there and DOTA New York City, Department of Transportation. I mean, New York has seen its fair share of accidents. I think a lot of it's taken a toll on a lot of people, including a bunch of our friends. And
Yeah, last year was like really heavy.
God,
Really,
it's just
really
another
heavy.
battle.
Huh?
That's just another battle to wage.
Yeah. Oh man.
On the plus side, bike shops are doing wonderfully. I have a lot of friends that own bike shops, and bikes are in short supply. You know, it's the new toilet paper.
Yeah, bikes are in short supply.
If you are a good mechanic, be a local community mechanic. You know, help your friends out, help your neighbors out, make friends with your neighbors, help them out. You know, I think right now, especially to help avoid the spread of the pandemic, and also to help maybe with the protests, and also just to get better in fitness. You know, I think where you should really push bikes more. You know,
I agree. I mean, look at how far we've gotten without. I mean, even in New York, like without public transportation and everything. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, look at how much we can do.
You can go faster on a bike, even if you're going the slowest you possibly want. Then you can on public transportation anywhere in New York. Maybe not to Harlem. I don't know. I didn't used to go up to Harlem that much.
Again, she didn't ride a lot when she was here.
We crossed the bridge like twice. I mean the George Washington. Oh, I was really Williamsburg Bridge a lot. Yeah. I remember that was the biggest hill in the world. I remember being so proud when I went over it twice a day, like so stoked on myself.
I ride the bridge twice a day.
I don't want to like publicly shame anyone's fitness levels, but
I know. When that was a key concerning factor when I first moved to New York. Someone was mentioning riding to me, and they're like, yeah, it's just hard to get over that Williamsburg Bridge to get to work. And I was like thinking to myself, I was like, oh wait, are they being serious right now? Because I thought they were really joking with me, and I was like, huh? And
that's the hill.
Like, should I laugh?
New York. No, and it's hard. I've also totally considered like paying people or like charging people $5, like getting a scooter and like sketching them across the bridge. You know, always on that hustle.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just do it with your man legs. You know.
Yeah, I got it. I'll give
human legs. It's just fun employment, you know, and it's fine.
I'll give people a ride. We got the electric city bikes back in New York again, so every once in a while someone will fly past me and I'm like, what? Fucking race. The funny thing is they charge up the hill, and then when it comes to going down the hill, they're like holding their brakes the whole time. No judgment. I'm just saying, just like chill.
You can't be scared. It's scary. Also, y'all be walk crazy on that bridge. Pedestrians and fucking longboarders. Everyone's crazy on that bridge.
Dude, I know. I actually witnessed an accident a couple weeks back. It looked like an e-bike delivery guy and a regular guy went head on. There's an ambulance had to take him. It was in the middle of Corona and everything.
Are they okay? That's
he
crazy.
Was out of it. He was wearing a helmet, but it looked like his head was hit here, so his helmet didn't help.
I wasn't even wearing
his head like on his forehead.
Accident. I don't even ride a fixture anymore. I do have a Vivalo that I put a
Yeah, what do you got? Show us your bikes. Let's get a little lighthearted here now that we talked about business.
We're all beat up. Hold on, I gotta bring the computer with me.
She's got she's got a crust, I think. She's got all kinds of shit. Let's see. What do we got here?
I actually have more bikes, but they're in storage right now. I'm currently moving.
She's in an underground bunker, like I said.
What's a bunker?
She's in an art bunker.
Let's see if we can take a peek. So here we have my Soma.
Why don't you? Can you do this? Can you put the computer on the ground and tilt the camera up? Does that work? Okay, and then you can pull the bike out. Yeah, let's see.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see it.
So this right here is my Soma. I'm a huge fan of basket bikes. My Vivalo is actually not even here.
Oh shit! But ooh, I used to have those tires, the front one, anyways.
So I actually won this in stationary bike. What is it? What are they called again? I haven't done one in so long. The stationary bike races, gold sprints. I won this tire in a gold sprint so long ago. This is the first bike I ever built up by myself. This thing is old. This thing's got dents in it. This thing has seen the entire country has gone cross country with me. Love this thing. Another basket. Here I have my crust bike.
The crust.
If you're trying to buy a new bike, man, Crust has got a whole array.
Yeah,
Crust
crust
has
is
a
sick.
full array on their fleet for anything that you'd ever want to do. Nat is a good buddy of mine. He was on the first bike tour I ever went through the Continental Divide, and his ethos, he's a giving person. He's an activist. He thinks the cops suck also, and they do a lot for the community. Him and Cheese is a magnificent human being also, his wife. This is my favorite bike. I love this bike.
Yeah.
This has gone with me through bike tours, a bunch of bike tours through Baja and to Colorado, a countless number of overnighters. It's got 27.5, 2.4 tires on it. This thing is a beast. I don't know if I can show it to you better. Oh, and then I painted a mural for King Kong, and they gave me the dropper post.
Oh, sick.
I take this thing down to Leo sometimes.
Hell yeah.
I love this bike. This bike is that do everything bike. This is called the Aviation. It's actually he named after this hilarious train hopping, dumpster diving, crime think book. And then this is my Specialized.
That's the shred mobile.
This is the shred mobile. And it, man, it's fun. I don't know what to say about it. It's my first full squish.
What's the travel on the rear?
What?
What's the travel on the rear?
The travel on the rear? I think it's a 150.
Damn. Sick.
I'm pretty sure. And then this last bike is this is my Moth Attack.
Moth Attack.
I want to get.
Did you race for them?
So I was part of creating. So Moth Attack is run by Megan Dean, who now lives in Las Vegas. No, she lives in Colorado now.
Yeah, she was in the Bay Area though, right?
No, she was in Los Angeles actually
Oh.
for a very long time. So she's a frame builder, and we and a couple girls up in San Francisco, we started an all-girls cyclocross team. And so she built us these bikes.
Yeah.
And that is pretty awesome. So me and Rudy, Black Magic Paint, worked together and created this paint scheme. And this is the bike. This is what we came up with. Man, I love this thing. This has got a lot of history in it.
You ride that bike a lot?
What?
Do you ride that bike a
Recently
lot?
I have. Because that's the closest thing I have to a road bike.
Yeah. Yeah. Gravel, cross, whatever. That's all you need.
Right? I mean, God, when road's fun, but man, it's so boring in comparison. If I gotta ride bikes, why not? I should have the best time I could possibly have.
Yeah.
You know? Not everyone has that privilege. I get it. Because I also have a nice, cute little
some
pickup
people
truck.
like to just go hard on hard packed pavement.
I'm an adrenaline junkie. Where's the adrenaline in that?
It's fun to bomb hills. You know?
That's true. That's
But
fun.
on dirt, I like to climb too. I like the technical weird shit. I don't know, it's fun. To can I get up that? I don't know. When we rode Chileo, you were like, Kyle always buys someone lunch if they make it up this climb, and you were talking about this climb and how it was a big fucking deal, and I was like, God damn, I'm gonna make it up this climb.
I swear to God.
And no one made it up the climb except for me.
You were the second person. I have ridden that trail in a definite amount of times, and you were the second person I've ever seen make that climb.
I'm telling you, I like to do weird climbs. Like I enjoy it way better on a mountain bike when it's like technical and like there's fucking it's sandy and bumpy and like you have to find the right line. It's way more interesting to me than just like climbing up some steep road.
God, I mean, not to knock it, but
I
seriously,
mean, I'm not knocking it at all because I do like riding road, but I just
You don't have to lie
appreciate
to me, it's fine.
climbing on dirt much better.
I do think that there's one thing I appreciate is that I don't need to worry about cars. And there's something about mountain biking. You make the argument that like, you know, shit happens, but mostly it's all on me. But with
Yeah.
cars, I mean, as I can attest to, my teeth can attest to. But when other people are involved, that's something that's scarier, way scarier, I think.
Yeah.
Also, dirt doesn't give you a road rash like that. That's gnarly. It's like
Yeah.
the trees, like cheese grating. But oh, it's so gross.
Yeah, falling on the dirt is a lot nicer on your body. You know, can't say that about like boulders and rocks as much, but when it's dirt, it's not as bad. You know.
No, and it's more fun. And you're out in nature. Look at you being all.
That's the best part. Yeah, especially if you live in a city. It's such a good contrast to be like, I don't know, you live in a city and then you're like, I'm gonna go ride my bike, and you're out in the woods, or like, you know, you're like out of what your element is. It just feels good to have variety in life. So you live in the city and you ride in the woods.
Yeah, take a break. Also, you're going to go crazy if you stay in New York all the time.
Dude, you know how crazy it is for me right now. I usually I would leave for work, and now it's like I'm fucking stuck here. I'm stuck in New York. No one wants me because I'm from fucking Brooklyn. They're like, oh, nah, you're sick. You got the corona. I mean, not that I would go anywhere right now anyways with everything going on, but I do miss traveling a little bit.
I mean, you could get on your bike and just leave.
That's true.
There you go. Pack up your Roadrunner bag. Sorry. Shout out. Those Roadrunners are super good buddies of mine.
Oh yeah, Roadrunner bags.
Affordable and easily accessible.
They are nice people.
They're still going. You guys are looking for any good road bags for your bike? What was I saying? I don't remember.
So Serena does I think I've only went to 2 or 3, but whenever it's Serena's birthday, it's like it's her birthday, so she can do whatever she wants, and she just does the biggest like parties, and they're like mostly bike parties, and she's been going mountain biking lately. So I've been living in New York, and I think the last 2 times, or maybe there was a year in between where I didn't come, or you didn't have a party, or maybe I wasn't invited, but whatever, Serena. She goes mountain biking. So like one year we went to Santa Cruz. Actually, I still lived there that year. And then we rode mountain bike. I rode a road bike to Santa Cruz, and then
That was
we
my
rode
first line.
Yeah,
Also, that was
then
my first
it was
move.
so sick.
I only
We got
lived
a
in
huge Airbnb. All these friends who are like-minded got together, you know, and then we all, even people who were maybe not as friendly with each other, put their differences aside and rode bikes for the weekend and hung out with Serena.
It was the trifecta. It was actually it was 4 things. We had to ride the 70 miles to Santa Cruz.
Yep.
And then when we got there, we had to go surfing in the morning.
I didn't do that. But yeah, there was also surfing.
We had to go mountain biking during the day.
Yep.
And then we had to party at night and / hit the arcade in Santa Cruz.
And then go to bed and wake up and mountain bike again.
And and then the last day we abused Santa Cruz with a $20 demos, and we all went mountain biking again on Santa Cruz demos. Because that was way before any of us had full squishes.
Yeah. That was so much fun. And then this year we went we did the Palm Spring Epic, and there's a video that you guys might have seen on YouTube. But I was out there because it was Serena's birthday. So that's why I went out there, and she got this huge fucking, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a desert palace.
It's a Matt says I'm trying to picture Terry surfing.
I can't surf, dude.
Neither can I. I'm awful at it.
I'm just sitting on the board, just waiting.
Cubby was so scared. Cubby was just sitting there clutching the board wide-eyed and not moving the entire
Cubby's a friend of ours who we both know for a while too, from San Francisco.
Kyle Emery Peck.
It'd be cool to get him on here one day, but I don't know if he would be down.
I wonder what he would talk about. I wonder what Jeff would say too. It would be so funny to listen to them.
I'm trying to get Jeff on here soon.
Jeff would be so funny.
Yeah. Trying to get Jeff on the show soon. He's got to hang out with us.
What was the last thing? Anything else? I don't know.
That's about it. I don't know. We'll give you guys a second in the chat if you have anything you want to hear or anything we missed. Drop it in the chat. Let's see.
I'm vegan, also. Not that I usually tell people like that, but I am a huge advocate.
Let everyone know. Let everyone know you're fucking vegan.
Shut the fuck up. I actually don't usually tell people. But if you do think I'm a badass, I just want you to remember that you can be a badass and be vegan.
Totally.
Just saying.
Oh, talk about the Palm Spring Epic. So how did you hear about Palm Spring Epic, and tell us a little bit about that ride?
Kyle took us on it, actually. And
Kyle
it is, you descend, God, what is it? You descend something crazy, like 8,000 feet. And so you start at I think it's the San Bernardino Mountains, maybe, and you descend basically into Palm Springs. And so you're also traversing a wide range of ecosystems in that, because of that elevation change. And it was epic. It took us 8 hours.
Palm Spring Epic.
It took us like 8 hours to do 25 miles. I promise you, it's way harder than it sounds like. You know, it's scorching heat. Like at the bottom, you're hitting the desert. Like everyone was dead. We had 2 people that jokingly kind of just joined on because I think some people that weren't as knowledgeable were just like, yeah, you should just come. And they showed up with like 1 water bottle and no snacks.
Yeah.
And Mick from 100 Tacos was just like, him and our other friend Johnny, who I was talking about earlier, would boom, they're like dead. Like they made it. And it was like Johnny's first time mountain biking. He was like, dude, mountain biking is just like riding a bike, but like making a lot of decisions really fast.
Yeah. Totally.
And I don't know. It's just epic. I guess an epic is also what you would call like a very long mountain bike ride. Usually it's one way. Usually it's a shuttle for sure.
Yeah.
Which makes
I couldn't imagine riding there because you would be so cooked from the heat pedaling up on the road. That would suck.
Yeah. That would be crazy. That would have been impossible. You couldn't do it in 2 days. I mean, 1 day, ride up and come down.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it took
also,
us 8 hours.
when I did
you
it
could
with
do it faster. You could probably do it in like 4 or 5, but
yeah, I mean that's what I was about to say. That we had a big group, and when you have a big group and there's people with different skill levels and things happen, technical issues happen on bikes and stuff. It slows everyone down and just takes longer. So we did have, how many people did we do that with? Like 12? More than that, right?
I don't
15?
know.
It was like 3 carloads, 4 carloads.
16 or something, 16 people.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
it was a little extra long.
We got a dog.
Oh man, the dog came. I forgot the dog's name. That sucks, man. The dog's paws are all cut up, but we did get the dog out of there properly.
Well, it was cool. There's a lot of pictures of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
That's about it, everybody. This is the morning routine.
Good morning in LA.
It's afternoon routine.
You guys now.
So what are you gonna do with the rest of your day? What are you doing?
I have to. There's a protest going on at 3 in front of the district attorney's house. It's a weekly protest in which we put pressure on the district attorney to reprimand the cops for the shit that they've actually done.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I need to go pick up a couch.
Not in that order.
Domestic shit, you know?
Yeah. You gonna slide a couch in the cave?
Look how much room this art bunker has.
That is crazy. The art bunker is sick.
I don't have the depth that your fancy camera has, but
We can see it. That's at least like 2 arm lengths. We miss you, Matt Reyes. Damn, plenty of room for bikes.
I'm actually gonna build a loft here. You know, like I have a king size bed that I got for free.
Ooh.
I'm just getting shit for free. Home price is free. And I think I'm gonna loft it and put all the bikes underneath, and then
Yeah.
you know, I'll just whole like couch section, get me like a TV maybe one day. Who knows?
Oh, damn.
One
I see
day.
it.
I don't have the money, but I don't know if I can find a TV for free. But I'm gonna keep looking.
A free TV. They might have them. You never know. Maybe
You know?
Matt Reyes can hook you up.
Now what's up?
Matt,
Where's that
he needs a
T-Mobile
TV.
money?
Where's that T-Mobile money? Damn.
We need a T-Mobile shoot together.
Oh yeah,
No,
you spent. You spent all your T-Mobile money. Should have bought a TV.
Pandemic. We broke. I'm a fucking starving artist.
Yeah, for some reason that vegan food costs way more than all the other food. So.
Okay, all right. You know, veggies, if you cook at home, are way cheaper and
Whoa.
last way longer.
That was not an attack. I was
I don't need to get into
claiming
this.
the reality. I don't think it's right that the vegan food costs more.
I know, it's fucked up. It's so good.
They're like,
man.
oh, you're trying to do something good? There's a charge for that. I like to play around in that world, you know. I like to do the vegan thing.
Yeah, you were raw for a second, weren't you?
Yeah.
You went off the deep end.
Fucking
for a
love that
second.
shit. It was good. I felt so good. It's super hard to maintain when you have a girlfriend though that's not participating.
You know, Jeff stayed over your house when we were there in New York for Nax, and he was like, "Man, Terry's like eating all these fucking juices, juices every day."
I was on a liquid diet for a fucking hot minute. Yeah, I was. I got to get back on it, dude, because I can't. I don't know. I don't get any lighter. I just hover around 210, 220. I don't know. I feel good though. I'm on the bike. I don't feel as good as I did when I was straight raw vegan. When I was raw vegan, I felt fucking like ultra human. But,
Hey, you can't argue with that. Maybe.
no, you can't argue with the way you feel. You can't tell me how I feel. You know, all those people that are like, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. Well, you can't tell me how I feel, dude. I feel good.
Can't tell me nothing.
All right, Serena.
I will say before I go, I want to post if any of you are interested. Hey, if any of you are interested in going out and doing some protesting, you know, doing some activism, I'm going to post on my stories just some like tips, you know, how to like nullify gas canisters or some security measures for your phone. Important things to remember, how to take care of your friends when you're out there, and maybe some links for some resources for people that can't go out, you know, for donations, things that you also can do, how to contact. I know there's a mass document going around that some people created that contain all that information. So if you want to find more stuff, I'll try and put it up for anyone because it's
on the
important,
gram.
and you should get out there if you can. I know not everyone can.
It's on your gram, yeah?
Yeah, I'll put on my stories, I guess.
Everyone go follow. Serena better get 162 new followers today
Fuck.
on Instagram. There's 162 people in here watching, so click the thing, give her a follow, watch her stories. She's in LA in a downtown art bunker, so she's got some insight on what's going on and good information. And I will say, she's always been the one to be like, give a damn about something, so shout out to you for that.
You know, if you can't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, you know?
Yep.
So.
Thank you, Serena, for hanging out and
Of course.
chatting. And let's do it again.
I miss you,
Maybe
Terry.
when the world changes, maybe we can go ride bikes again. I do miss that.
Yay.
Are you getting a chance to ride here and there a little bit?
Out every day.
Yeah. I think it's
It's the only
important.
way to stay sane. If it's to the protest or go mountain biking, but you have to ride your bike. Move your goddamn body.
That's true. Oh, someone wants me to drop the link again. Here, hold on. I gotta leave you on the line so we can get lots of followers here. Matt Reyes says drop the link. Click that, guys. All right. Again, thank you, Serena. We will see you in LA soon or New York. You got to come to Jersey and visit your family eventually, and I have to go to California and visit my family eventually. Like,
I hear that if you get on the plane, you get your whole row to yourself. That's what I heard.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was flying in the middle, well, in the beginning of all this, and I was worried that they're not gonna let me fly back.
So we'll find out. Road trip.
Sick. I don't have a car, but I'm down. All right, Serena.
All right. Well, I love you. Stay
Love you
safe.
too.
Keep
See
your
you
comrades
soon.
safe, and good
The
luck.
mountains are waiting.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Be safe out there. Bye. That was Serena Rio at Rad Rio on Instagram. Click the link, give her a follow. She's in LA. Thank you guys for joining again today. Sorry about all the hiccups in the beginning. You know how it is. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I was trying to swap computers. I was in the middle of the process and it wasn't working, so I got all flustered. Gonna be on again tomorrow for the morning routine, so of course I'll leave this thing up. If you did join late, I recommend going back and listening, especially once we got into talking about what's going on in the world. I think it's important. I know some of you aren't in the US, so if you're curious about what's been going on, if you've been living under a rock or you just don't have any idea, I recommend digging in and getting some information and maybe going out and standing for something. With that, be safe, be well, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you. I haven't ridden in a while. I'm sure you're gonna make me look bad.